Certainly someone with BPD responds differently than someone who doesn't have the criteria for BPDs. The emotion responses tend to be different because the intensity of the emotion response over a certain prompting event could be very different for someone without BPD and someone with BPD. There's this very, very strong, almost biological response to the situation that in turn causes really strong action urges to relieve that emotion. And so a lot of us that maybe don't have BPD, we're able to recognize the emotion, call it, name it, and recognize our action urge, and then make an effective decision on our goals. Someone with BPD, that function is just, it's more chaotic, and their intense reaction to try to reduce that emotion is what their focus is, and they really aren't able to focus on long-term goals or what's most effective in that situation.
A person with BPD can have a really hard time with their relationships because of this constant fear of rejection that's typically found with people with BPD. With that fear of rejection, someone can have a really hard time being completely open or vulnerable with a person. And so this could be with a family member, this could be with a partner, with a friend. And so having that difficulty with being vulnerable can make it really hard to communicate effectively. And not only for that person is it hard to communicate effectively, the other people that they're interacting with might have a hard time understanding what that person needs. So that might mean that person might need increased validation, that person might need just a little more understanding of what's going on, of why the person's having a hard time being completely vulnerable.
Friends and family members of someone with borderline personality disorder can support them in a number of ways. One way is to try and be as non-judgmental as possible of the way this person behaves. They can also validate them. That's a huge way of communicating to someone that you understand them and that you get them. People with BPD tend to feel invalidated a lot, so that can be a really helpful way of supporting them.
I absolutely think that family members of somebody with borderline personality disorder should seek treatment. I think it can help with strengthening the relationship, learning how to effectively support their loved one, and it can help with those feelings of helplessness and confusion in understanding their emotions. It can definitely improve the relationship that is already strained.
I enjoy working with clients with BPD because they typically are the most resilient and strongest people I've ever known. When they walk into my office, they have tried multiple other treatments that have not worked, that have not been enough for some reason. So when they come in here, we go through treatment, and I see them as their guide, as their coach, go through this process of learning and of growing and of utilizing these different skills. And so just being able to see them go through that, it just shows a lot of strength and a lot of determination to not give up.
So one of the most recent success stories is an adolescent who was in and out of the hospital with suicidal ideation, and most recently she got her first job and her driver's license and is applying to colleges, and something that she just thought she could never do. And it's amazing to see those successes and the pride in her face.
Brianne Soder. I am the leader of clinical services here at STLCFD. I provide outpatient therapy to adults and teens, and a variety of evidence-based therapies, and I also provide oversight of the DBT program. I'm their team leader.
My name is Ritka Hawaringa, and I'm an outpatient therapist here, and I run 3 different DBT skills groups.
So I'm Emily Dreyer. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I am the supervisor of clinical services, so I provide outpatient therapy to adults and adolescents. I supervise, and I'm also the point person of our crisis stabilization program.
My name is Sarah Darby, and I am a outpatient therapist, and I work with children and teens and adults who have difficulty kind of regulating their emotions.